Welcome to our coaching call for today. The purpose of these coaching calls is to give you a mindset boost. Today, I'm going to talk about generating more confidence. Okay, I think this is hugely important. Ultimately, I think it's all about that inner confidence in yourself. And, the first thing I want to, talk about is, you've heard me talk about the alchemy approach before. You've heard me talk about the alchemy mindset for success. I love that word, alchemy, right? Where traditionally it's turning base metal into gold. For me, using the alchemy approach is going the opposite route to the route that most people take. What happens to most people, especially the people who we call the victims in life, is they reach a challenge or an obstacle, a difficult time, and they call it failure. And even just labeling a setback as a failure, it triggers something deep within that releases cortisol, the stress hormone, the fear hormone, which then blocks your best performance. Now, the opposite of that is to use this alchemy approach, where you see yourself as a magician of change, as a visionary leader, okay, where other people are seeing all the problems and seeing themselves as a failure and seeing this setback and only seeing the current circumstances in a negative way. Then you're looking for the gold as such. You're training your brain so you have this dominant belief that just becomes so automatic. Why? Because having confidence is a muscle. Because you've practiced it so much. Where someone says, whoa, there's an insurmountable obstacle. There's a wall, right? There's a failure. You don't look at it that way. You put on your alchemy glasses and you say, I'm going to turn that lead into gold. I'm going to turn that problem into an opportunity. I'm going to turn this setback and I'm going to use it as fuel to propel myself forward. Does that make sense? Next point. Learn to relax with life. Now, what exactly do I mean by that? Well, you're going to have the highs and you're going to have the lows. So this is not just the day-to-day challenges. This is just, the overall broader aspect of our lives. Did you ever notice that often before a breakthrough, your stuff really comes up? And it's life, it's the universe testing you to see if you're worthy to go on to the next level, if you're ready to break through to that next level. So there's two real things here. There's, number one, recognizing that the majority of people, they're kind of stuck in low states because of wrong thinking all the time. But you now know that you can renew your mind in an instant. You can generate the right states. In this case, we're talking about confidence at will by taking control of your thoughts, by taking control of your mind. But there's this other part that we need to, become more aware of. And that is, there's highs and lows in life. When you rise up and take charge of your emotions and your thoughts, you can really achieve these extraordinary highs and extraordinary wins. But there's also going to be plateaus. There's also going to be, as you know, disappointments. There's going to be sadness. There's going to be storms. That's part of life. And it's really being able to discern when there's times when you should pull back. There's times when you need to retreat, regroup, to get away from the noise. Not just on a daily basis in our morning routines, but there's times when you need to maybe take yourself away and reevaluate your life. Really take quality, quiet time for you. And rejuvenate and replenish. There are going to be times when you feel depleted when you're really struggling, and then you really do need to take a step back. So the point I'm making is it's not always going to be a time, as you know, when you're just happy, happy, happy all the time. There's not going to be the highs all the time. We know that. So maybe there are times when, in the business you were in, that it was going on an upward spiral, and that you were making good money, and that you were being really productive, you were on top of your game, you were receiving the accolades of your peers, you were nailing your goals finally, and maybe then that hit a plateau. Maybe that even started to go down. And it's to recognize that that's the ebb and flow of life. That's okay. That you can navigate those storms, that you can use those times just to really learn from your mistakes, like I say, to regroup, to renew your mind, and to come back even stronger the next time. So a high producer, they're not always at the top of the mountain. So the message there is relax with life, go with life's flow. You do that, the more you can tune into it. There's going to be times when you've got to stop resisting. I really encourage you to learn how to stop resisting the natural flow of elite performance, if you want to call it that. Okay? Because, when you stop the battle, the struggle, and you say, okay, I'm going to give myself the gift of learning. Again, this is you using a different muscle and learning to really truly relax with life and generate this inner power and this inner confidence again. Make sense? Next, and that is to protect your mindset, to protect your focus. That's what game changers do. Okay? They develop this tunnel vision, this shutout concentration. They bulletproof their focus. In this day and age especially, you can be massively distracted. Or you can be on purpose and be in flow, be unstoppable, and be truly great at what you do. You don't get to do both together. So that's what separates the people who are really thriving and really winning, and who are really thriving and winning, by the way, when the chips are down. Who are really thriving and winning when the so-called economy doesn't look so great on the outside. Are there people who are thriving even in those times? Absolutely. Are there people thriving even if generally in your industry things are seemingly going on a downward spiral? Absolutely. These are the people who are protecting their mindset. These are the people who are generating that confidence. These are the people who are relaxing with life. Then what happens is there's this neurobiological phenomenon when you get into that zone and get out of the distraction and get single-minded, where you slow down this cortisol flow, that fear hormone, that stress hormone. You increase serotonin, you increase dopamine. We've talked about this before. Dopamine being the inspirational neurotransmitter connected to your prefrontal cortex, okay? Your prefrontal cortex, the seat of reasoning, right? The CEO of your brain. And you really move into this different flow state. The fourth point I want to mention here, to generate more confidence, to increase your belief, to harness your personal power, is to practice priming your mind. Okay? And the first thing to understand there is to know that our brains naturally gravitate towards a negative default pattern. That's our ancient brain, our amygdala, that served us really well as a survival mechanism, right? Like hundreds of thousands of years ago, when we had to fight, the elements, saber-toothed tigers and such, right? where it was just, okay, kill or be killed type of thing. Now we're in modern society, but we still unfortunately have this ancient brain that defaults to negativity. So for example, let's say your life is going great. Then what happens? Your brain naturally goes to the things that are not so great. Let's say you give a tremendous presentation to 100 people and one person out of 100 is negative about it, but the rest of the people love it. Your focus goes on the one negative person, right? With your spouse. He or she has 1,000 incredible qualities, and maybe you focus on the 3 or 4 negative qualities instead of all the great things. And then we lose our connection, right, with those closest to us because of that. Why does that happen? Because your brain has this natural default, a bias, if you like, towards the negative. So with this whole area, I would suggest pulling out your journal and just writing about that. You know, this natural default mechanism and how that's ruining your life, depleting your energy, how it's limiting you. And by writing it down, you start to generate more awareness about it. And of course, awareness is really the first step to transformation and change. And doing all of this helps you to recode your mindset, okay? And then to transcend your brain's natural default mechanism. And the final way that the greats do to generate confidence, listen to this one, massively important. Everybody does it. It can seem obvious, but it's to stop comparing. Stop comparing your life to others. This is what happens for most people. They're comparing where they are on their journey, right, to other people. They're maybe looking at people in Facebook and saying, oh my God, look what they're doing. What's wrong with me? You're comparing where you are on the journey of your life to what society says other people are living, okay, and what the majority defines success as. So I'm encouraging you here to stay focused on your path, to stay in your lane where there is no competition. And one of the great recipes for failure really is to spend the best hours of your life comparing yourself negatively to others. Oh, this person is making more money than me. Oh, this person has a much better home, a much better car, or they seem to have it all together. Well, the reality of it is, and I know this from coaching thousands upon thousands of people over the years, from all different walks of life, at all different income levels. The reality of it is, everyone is a work in progress. Everyone is struggling with something. You're either struggling with a work issue, or a financial issue, or a health issue, or a relationship issue, or a spiritual issue, right? We're all just trying to figure it out and go to better and better levels. So there's always going to be some weakness that we can work on. That's the human journey. But you've got to stop comparing your life to others, right? Because you don't know what's going on with other people. You only assume. We assume all these things that are going on. I mean, I remember flying out to this private retreat for billionaires many years ago. Right? And they all had their private jets, and my job was to do a blueprint for each one of these billionaires. And you really get an inside private glimpse of how they're living every single day, their psychology, right? Their struggles that they have emotionally within their family. And I can tell you that one after another, they were beating themselves up so much. On one level, they seemed to have it all, right? They had all the money that they could ever possibly want. Many of them were self-medicating themselves. The thing that they all said to me was, God, I would give anything, I'd give any money to stop these tapes playing in my head from my past regrets, from my past losses, from all the problems in my life. They couldn't switch it off. That was my job, to help them switch it off. And by the way, that is the same, not just for people obviously who have money, but even for people who don't have money, they still have all these tapes going on in their head that they can't switch off. So it's just such an illusion, is what I'm saying, that we think, oh my God, they seem to have everything. But you'll realize that so many people are struggling because they don't have mastery over their mindset. Okay? So please stop comparing your income, your social status, your lifestyle, your family life, your business, right, with others out there. Stay on your own path. Have the trust in yourself and the confidence to say, this is what success means for me. I'm not going to compromise on my values, right? It might not be society's measure of success. I think having money is really important, but it's also important to have all the other things happening in your life as well that you want to happen, that you can have it all, that you're meant to have it all, okay? So hopefully all of that resonates with you, and there's some tips there to add to your mix. Again, take what you need, discard the rest, and understand that, like anything, confidence really is a muscle. And just those tiny incremental improvements and action steps today are going to make those jumps forward tomorrow, next week, and next month. All right, guys, always an absolute pleasure to connect, and I look forward to speaking with you again very soon. Bye for now. Hey, my friend, it's Dave, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Do me a favor, be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you continue to get updates every time that I release new training for you. Also, while I have you here, if you'd like to get ahead a little faster in your business, then do visit my website. That's daveoconnoronline.com, and subscribe to my email list. That way you'll get more fresh, in-depth, free, world-class training on mindset and motivation. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until I see you next time, go out there and be absolutely awesome at everything that you do. Bye for now.